What's up, everybody? We're live.
Hey,
Hey, we're
okay,
live.
I'm back. I had some technical difficulties, had some, but how's everything going? Have we already we rolling?
We are rolling. We are live. I apologize. I think we all had some technical issues, but we are on. Everything is good on my end. How about yourself?
Everything's great. I had a pretty nice and productive day today. So I have no complaints. Um, Definitely got a lot of work done and plan to do some more work after we finish here tonight. But I'm having a good day. I'm in a good mood. Life's great at the moment. How about
Yeah,
you?
I see you.
Anything?
I love it. I love the shirt. The shirt is always popping.
Appreciate you. Know you got to be original in these streets.
Exactly. So I was looking. Hold on. Okay, I have to show. Always represent. Well, if you can see that, made by Miss Ambitious.
Hey, face mask on deck. I like that.
Yes,
Looks nice and
yes, yes.
cozy.
So, yeah, you have to um, take your precautionary measures. Wear a mask everywhere. That's the new norm now. So
Yeah, definitely.
definitely, definitely have to do that.
It's like the worst feeling is getting all the way to the door of wherever your destination and you forgot your mask. Oh man.
Right. I do that so often now, man. I try to keep it like right there, and you be in a rush. You just want to jump out the car and get something, and like, dang, and I
Yo,
forgot my mask. So I have about two or three on deck, man. But definitely, this is of course the favorite.
nah, for sure.
Problem, no problem. So, well, today is I am so excited about today's topic, man. You guys, when we're coming up with this week's topic, that's right up my realm. Talking about being active and the outdoors, and I'm excited, stoked about it.
Same here. Get to talk to two lovely ladies. They're going to come bring us some insight on working out outside and just the different ways that we can stay active while we out here dealing with Rona. Because, like you were saying earlier, a lot of people are still not comfortable going to the gym. So this just gives the
Right,
opportunity to find out some new ways to stay fit. I'm here for it.
right, definitely. So, no further ado, we have our first guest here.
It is our pleasure to welcome Samantha, creator of Hammock Gang. Could you tell us more about how you got the idea to bring diversity with your outdoor initiative?
Okay, so it did not start as a diversity initiative. It literally started as me posting my hammock pictures that I would normally send to my close friends in a text group chat and post it on a different page. Why? Because I thought it was like corny. Like I have all these pictures of me traveling in the hammock, and I would send it to my friends like, "Oh, look at me," and we would kind of like joke about it. And I think it was cool. I guess cool to myself, kind of like a little hobby. So I started posting them there. Um, and I would also post anything that I did outdoors on that page as well. So whether that is, taking a hike, going kayaking, going on vacation, and do something in the water, I would always post it there. it turned into a diversity initiative once I started to meet and connect with other people of color that were basically doing the same thing I was, trying to kind of change the narrative of, hey, we out here too. We out here in the woods. It's safe. It's okay. You can have fun out here. Everything that, we can normally do together, we can do it outside. So that's how it started. Was really just a hobby of mine. It started with a page, and then now it's turned into me trying to help my people get the benefits of the outdoors.
Absolutely love it. It's like a perfect idea. I know myself personally, it took about 5 or 6 years ago was the first time that I took my first hike at the Palo Canyon, back in my hometown, Amarillo.
Mm-hmm.
It was a friend of mine. We worked together, and she was like, "Come with me. It's just 10 miles, like 5 miles up, 5 miles down." I'm like, "You want me to do what? And you want me to go how high?" And so it's interesting that you say that, because we were the only ones who looked like us out there. So I like what you're doing. I really respect it, because it's needed. It's really needed, and I appreciate it as somebody who's looking for things to do outside of going to the gym, because I really don't like going to the gym. So you're giving us some insight tonight.
Sure.
Right, right. And just to piggyback on what Ambitious is saying, like I'm a true city person. I'm born and raised in Houston. In the last couple of months, I just been fishing and crabbing and all these other things. And like you said, a lot of times you don't see us out there as a people. And so what you're doing is a tremendous idea, like to have people about, diverse people to come out and, hike and fish and camp and bring awareness to that. So that's amazing.
For sure. I appreciate it. I need to go out with you. I've never been crabbing. I need to go out with you.
What?
Yeah.
There we
Yeah,
go.
I'm from the city too, though. I'm from New York City. Really, I grew up in upstate New York, so that's closer to like the Catskill Mountains, Lake Placid, things like that. So there's lots of mountains out there. So I hiked as a kid, and I was in the woods as a kid. That was something that I was able to, have in my life. So as I got older, when I started thinking about stress and things like that, like taking a walk would be cool, but when I'm engulfed in trees is when I felt the calmest. So I just started doing that, and it just helped me a lot with how I was feeling emotionally and physically and things like that. So that's how it kind of snowballed and started.
How's it going? I just hopped on a little bit
What's
late,
going
but
on, Josh?
you doing all right?
I'm good. How you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming on, man. I'm here and I'm thinking about like doing a lot of stuff, and y'all been talking about things that I've never done before. So I
Okay.
want to say I'm country, but I'm a city boy.
Okay.
So I've never been fishing, I've never been hunting, I've never been mountain climbing or anything like that, unless it's like at the spot off of I-10. So
You
so like
you ever took a walk?
a what?
You ever took a walk?
No. What's
You
that?
never walked. You never walked outside your house to the
Oh, you
mailbox?
mean just take a walk? Actually, not really, because
Oh,
I don't feel like walking does anything for me. So
okay.
if I'm outside, I'm either riding bike or I'm actually jogging or sprinting.
Oh well, then you doing stuff outside for sure.
Yeah.
But that's literally that's all I tell people is a hiking is just a walk in the park. So it can
Okay.
be as hard and as easy as you want to. If it's getting too hard, you turn back around and go back. That's your hike, you know. But it's never a race, and that's something that I like in hiking. It's not a competition, you know. It's just hey, we have a destination to get to, and it's more like an adventure for me when I go out. So even when I do feel myself starting to get tired, it's more like, man, I'm gonna feel so much better when I know I hit halfway and I can come back. That way coming back is always shorter,
Right.
and you always feel accomplished at the end. There's not one hike that I ever felt like, oh, I shouldn't have did that. I always feel accomplished at the end.
So
Always.
are you going the same path every time you go, or is it different paths? Is it like something new every time?
So on Sunday, I go to the same hike every Sunday because I feel like that's a good beginner hike for anybody. And a lot of times on Sundays, I have people that's never been on hikes before. So that is an out and back hike, as you would call it. We go from one spot, come back to the same spot where we started. when I was recently in Utah this past weekend, so I did a few hikes there, and it really just depends. That one, no, that wasn't out back neither. That was like a circle, so it went to like a waterfall and then came around. So it really just depends on what type of hike you want to do. There's a couple apps that us nerdy hikers use to kind of see with the elevation and how long and things like that. But yeah, the hike that I do every Sunday and that I invite people to do is 3 miles. And sometimes 3 miles sounds a lot, but it goes by quick for me. It's like an hour, maybe an hour, 15 minutes.
That's not bad at all.
No, not at all. And we're there and back. And halfway through, I stop so we can get some water. It's Texas, it's hot. So then we come back. The coming back is always the easiest, I say. And I've had a 4-year-old do it, so I know anybody can do it.
Right.
Nice. So it said, what type of gear should someone hike on or hike in?
Okay.
And how do you stay dry?
How do you stay dry? Okay, well, it's Houston, so as long as it's hot outside, we dry. Trust me. Normally, if it rains before or something like that, or if it rains the morning of, I'll just cancel because we do get heavy rains and it'll be muddy. And more than likely, I'm the only one that's willing to hike in the rain. So, I just cancel. How do I stay dry? There's waterproof stuff. You can put like things on, but in our climate, it's hot. So I can't tell people like put more clothes on. But what I will say is good sturdy boots. Or if you don't have boots and you're just trying to get into it, basketball sneakers. Everybody's got some like dirty high tops that they don't wear sitting in the closet. Put those on. Anything that has a good ankle support is great for hiking. I know a lot of people like to wear like the low top sneakers, but you want ankle support when you're hiking because we are going up and down and kind of tripping over roots and doing all different types of stuff.
Would you recommend going during the summertime, or would you recommend going like
for sure? This is Houston. You got to embrace the heat. So summertime is when we get the most daylight all day, so you can actually hike all day. But it's hot, so water is the most important thing. As long as you have enough water, you good to go. And when you're hiking, normally you're in the woods, so it's a tiny bit. When I say a tiny bit cooler as we're under the shade. Hammock Gang started with a hammock, so I'm good for pulling out my hammock, stopping, and having a break.
Right.
Yeah. If you're just a beginner hiker and you want to hike locally, just get you something that's going to support your ankle, get you some water, and go. After
so no
that,
snacks. We don't need no snacks.
Huh?
I said we don't need no snacks.
Oh, no, you could bring a snack. For sure.
Okay, I like snacks.
If I'm whipping out my hammock, there's always an Uncrustable somewhere in my backpack or something, a little nibble for something. Yeah, for sure.
Yes, water and snacks, hot tops, pants or shorts.
I wear shorts. It's hot, so I wear shorts. Of course, you can wear pants. Sometimes I wear like leggings or something like that, just because we got mosquitoes. When you're hiking, depending on how well treated the trail is, it may be, not something that a lot of people go down. So you may be going past brush. So you want to, be safe like that. But it's hiking. You may get a couple scrapes. But like I said, you'll be like, that's my hiking scrape. I got it. I was doing good. So it's something that's really fulfilling.
Have you encountered any type of wildlife? I mean, I know this is Houston, but sometimes, any kind of wildlife depending on where you're at. Because I think I saw.
I would say hiking in Texas. The only thing that startled me, like I've seen deer, stuff like that. The only thing that kind of startled me, I saw a wild boar, and I was like, all right, let me chill. I let it cross. It was like a little baby one, and then the mama came behind it, and then there was like another one, and we just let it cross. Kind of waited a few minutes and then go, because I guess if they feel threatened, they'll attack. That's the only thing that I've really seen in the wild that I was like, oh snap. I didn't quickly take a picture of because I was stunned. Everything else has been like docile animals, Bambi running through, stuff like that. No mountain lions, nothing big.
No bears.
Yeah, I don't have any no Tiger Man stories. I forgot that guy's name, but I don't have any of those stories. Not yet. What's the other question? There, I can't see him at the bottom. What kind of food should I pack? Really depends on what you like. Things that are gonna give you energy. Like I said, water is the most important. I like those little, and I'm biased, so I like Uncrustables. Okay, I like the little what do they call Barilla cookies or something like that. Fruit is great.
Ooh,
Yeah,
watermelon.
we always bring a mango in my backpack or something like that out there. Some nuts, granola, things like that. I brought Popeye's chicken from leftover from last night. It depends on how you feeling. This is your life.
Right.
What's the
So
what's the craziest thing you've seen somebody bring? Have you seen somebody actually bring like a generator out there? Put a put a
well,
tent up
not
or something?
see. It depends on what, like camping. I've seen some really elaborate camping where you're like they not camping.
They got all
Right.
the necessities and lights and everything.
They got everything, and you like, can I borrow some cables?
Right.
In my tent. But now I would say when you're backpacking and you're like, backpacking is different from camping. That means I'm going miles and everything's on my back. You're not trying to bring that much stuff.
Right.
So you're trying to make it light. So it really depends. Some people bring like instruments out there, depending on how you want to entertain yourself. So I have seen somebody I follow, kind of admire. He'll make sure that he always brings like a beer. So he always has a beer packed, so like deep in his bag. So it just depends on, like how you want. I don't know what's the craziest. Mine may be the craziest, probably.
What's that? Can you say it on our show?
Yeah, I brought the game Left, Right, Center.
Oh, I love that game.
I brought that to the woods.
I love that game. Did y'all have some dollar bills?
Hey, you always gotta have a little spare change around.
Oh yeah.
So, that was probably like the weirdest thing. But also, you want to pack light. So a lot of the stuff that you like, I want to bring for fun. You're like, yeah, no. By the time you get done with that hike, or by the time you put your hammock up, you want to lay down for a little bit.
I'm like, I might jump in. I might want to stay out there for a couple more hours or something.
Yeah, for sure. I've definitely fallen asleep outside.
Right.
Dope.
I'm definitely gonna try that.
Do you have any final thoughts for us? Do you want to leave us with anything? Leave us with any gems, any thoughts?
Yeah, for sure. Whatever you want to do and whatever, kind of drives you to be happy in that moment, do that, because that's what led me to this. So being outside makes me happy, and it led to me being on y'all's podcast. I've never been on a podcast. I love podcasts. It led to, almost 1,000 people following me in my hammock. I've met people all over the world. So whatever really kind of drives you and makes you happy, not kind of what makes other people happy about you, but what genuinely makes you happy, and you get up like, oh, I want to do this because it makes me happy. Do that, and you never know what it could become. And try the outdoors. Be out here. I promise. Okay, it's safe. You're good. And just go with that ecotherapy, because it's mind, body, and soul.
So if people also want pricing, they just connect with you.
Yeah, just connect with me. We can do private parties. I've done private Hammock Gang and little things. So
that'd be something new.
If you want a cool little new date night, something, bachelorette parties outside. You never know. Different stuff.
Hey, that's getting creative. That's something different.
Yeah, it's outside. I mean, it's here. It's what's been here the longest, so we gotta embrace it.
I agree.
So how can people follow you and get a hold of you?
You can follow at _Hammock Gang _. If you just type in Hammock Gang, I'm gonna pop up. #Hammock Gang. You'll see all our pictures. I've taken over the title Hammock Gang. I promise. It's real colorful on the Hammock Gang hashtag right now. So just #Hammock Gang or @Hammock Gang on Instagram and Facebook.
For real. I started following you already.
I appreciate you, Dak.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Hey, I appreciate you for coming on the show.
For sure.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was nice.
All right, man. So Hammock Gang it is, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had a question. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's a question we need to follow up to see how far a beginner would be able to go. I think she said 3 miles was give or take, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
3 miles
So
for an hour, something like that.
yeah, okay,
But I'm
all
sure
right.
they pretty. I'm
Well,
sure.
we
I'm sure if you're a beginner, they're gonna take it pretty slow, you know, and put you on
well,
the
like she
easy
said, it's
route.
not a race,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you
right?
can
It's
stop
not a
and
race. It's
chill.
just about yeah, bring your hammock, right? Well, we have another guest, a very a friend of the podcast, Miss Joy Diggs, who is a wealth of knowledge. She's a dietitian, personal trainer, and owner of Dig Deep Fitness. So go ahead and bring her on here. How's it
Hey,
going,
what's
Miss
up,
Joy?
y'all? I miss
Hey,
y'all, man.
What's up,
I
Joy?
Hey,
know.
Boys, man,
Joy.
I haven't seen y'all forever. And hey, is it ambitious? That's your name?
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
nice to meet
Well,
you.
nice to meet you also.
That's your stage name.
You know what I mean?
You know what? Y'all probably. I'm sure y'all crossed paths at one of the events in the that last year. Y'all may
Oh,
not.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure
maybe
y'all
so.
crossed paths.
Okay,
Okay.
it's possible.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
Up at
Absolutely.
yeah, pretty sure.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Thanks
But
definitely.
for
yeah.
So what's
having
been
me.
going on, Miss Dig?
Oh man, a lot, right? It's a lot going on just in general in life. But I've been
Mm-hmm.
blessed in the midst of it, to still be training most of my clients. To even have gotten new clients in the midst of the pandemic, right? So that's amazing.
Oh, really?
Uh,
That's good.
yeah, still getting new clients. I've just launched the other side of me, the chocolate business, Sugar
I
and
saw that.
Joy. Where I'm baking, chocolate treats.
I
Oh,
saw
Um,
that.
and
what kind of
something else in
treats?
the works. So it started with, and we supposed to be talking about health, but I'm gonna plug this anyway.
But
It
I mean, I
started with
got.
brown. It started with brown butter, bourbon pecan, chocolate chip cookies, right? Yeah, that face you make, exactly. So
Mhm.
that's the face people make when they taste it. So I just made them for Thanksgiving, like November of last year. Wasn't trying to sell them. Made them for my family. My family loved them. And so then I wanted to like perfect the recipe. So like I made another batch, and I didn't want to eat the batch because I had just had some for Thanksgiving. So I gave them away. And then more people wanted to try them. So like I made another batch, gave those away. More people wanted to try them. And I'm like, if I make them a third time, I'm gonna have to charge y'all. And so people were like, okay, well, how much are they? Set a price, people paid it, and then that just started it from there. So it was like a hobby where I was just kind of doing it like every few weeks. And then in the midst of the quarantine, I guess it was something that people wanted to kind of, feel like a little bit of normalcy. They're like, Joy, when are you baking cookies again? I'm like, oh, y'all still want cookies? Cool. So then I was doing it like once a month, and then it became like once every other week. And so I was like, well, this seems like it's something that can be ongoing. So let me just go ahead and make it official. And so Sugar and Joy was created from that.
It's called
And so
sugar, sugar and
it's
Awesome.
joy.
called Sugar and Joy. Yeah.
I got a
So
conspiracy theory. I think
I already know
I
what it's
think
gonna be. What is it?
I think you fattening people up
Oh
during
man,
the pandemic, and
I'm
then
not.
now you're getting
I'm
them to
not
come
pushing
work
cookies on nobody.
out.
They come to me. They come to me.
You like eat a couple of these cookies for about 3 4 weeks, and then after they finish, then they come back to work
Look,
out.
I've had to cut some
Hey.
people off. Like, I mean, I appreciate you supporting me, but it doesn't have to be every time, right? Like,
Mhm.
I still try to help people portion control, especially if you're my client. No, you can't have it every time. So yeah, it's control chaos.
Well, you know what? Let me ask that first question because this is what I'm talking about is like how do you stay
Okay.
focused and motivated and fit during this time? Because I know when the pandemic first came about in March, where we all got locked down,
Yeah,
I was kind of focused. I was riding bike almost every day, like 5 days a week.
I remember that.
But then actually, I started working a lot more and working from home a lot more. And then I kind of slowed down and it went from 5 days a week to 3 days a week. And now it's 3 days a week, like 1 to 2 days a week. So
Man.
talk about what's the key to staying focused and motivated and active during this time.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, the exact same thing happened to me. So the shutdown happened. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna lose it. The gym that we go to let us actually rent out equipment and take equipment home with us, so we can all take like 5 pieces of equipment. We didn't have to pay anything extra. So I put everything in my trunk. I was doing like workouts outside with the dumbbells. And I was like, okay, I'm getting it. I was proud of myself. Then, like you said, the 5 days a week turned to 3 days a week, just because I love the gym environment. You know, like everyone is working out around you. You're
Right.
not in your house. You have different equipment. And so I started losing motivation because of the environment that I was in. And then by that second month, I was like, I don't want to do another resistance band workout.
Right.
Like, I want
Right.
the gym. You know what I mean? I want the feeling. And so it became like 1 day a week, and then it was like 2 days a week. I think I had like 1 week where I didn't work out at all, and I was like, I gotta get myself together. And so at that point, I think I launched like a challenge on Facebook or something just to get other people involved with like, hey, y'all, we're gonna
Right.
commit to 4 days a week of working out for the next 4 weeks. And so that's one thing I would say is like getting other people who are like-minded who also have fitness goals and keeping each other accountable. So that could be like meeting up and like you mentioned riding bikes, like riding bikes together. There are different run clubs. You know, y'all can work out at the same time on Zoom if you're doing a home workout. There are virtual, you know, group fitness classes. So there's a lot of different things that are offered. It's just a matter of you kind of recommitting to your fitness goal and, you know, allowing yourself some grace that you may slack off because, I mean, we're in a pandemic, so it's going to be a little bit different. But then also not using that necessarily as an excuse to fall all the way off and just doing what you can when you can. I mean, there are people who are dealing with like losing family members. Am I expecting you to like work out 5 days a week when you're dealing with the loss of someone that you love?
Right.
Absolutely not. So there are going to be times when you really cannot get into the mindset of working out. But there's a difference between having a reason and having an excuse. And an excuse is like, I just don't feel like doing it today because I just want to sit here and watch Netflix. And Moesha just came out, and I'm binge watching Moesha, so I don't want to work out today. That's a whole different thing. So, like I said, just finding a group of people who you can connect with who can help keep you accountable. That'd be my main thing.
Excuse versus a reason. I know an excuse is not a legitimate reason.
No,
I have
not at
lots
all.
of excuses, lots of them, and I can admit that, and I'm going to hold myself accountable because I don't want to, and I won't. So,
Right.
Yeah, and you know that. So it's like it's a decision, right? It's like, how bad do I actually want this? Is it something I'm going to prioritize?
right.
And I mean, that's your choice to say yes or no. If it's not a priority for you, it's not a priority for you. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what you value right now in your life. And for some people, it really is important. So it's like, okay, well, if it is, what are you going to do differently? So.
That's true.
And the one thing that we always say about you though, Joy, I think that separates you is that your diet. You know, you're very disciplined with your diet. And but your splurge day or whatever, and I think that's more human. Like, cause some no, no, I'm saying it's realistic. You know what I'm saying with the chocolate or whatever. Like you allow people to have that day or that one cheat meal, and I think that's more human. Like some people expect you to eat chicken breast and broccoli every single day, and it's just
brown
not
rice and
for the average.
Yeah,
That's just not every day. Just not gonna happen. But I think so. How important is diet? Would you say to everybody?
Yeah, we already know the
What
answer
part
to
would
this.
you say?
Yeah. So I actually came into
for the viewers.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, of course. I came into the fitness field through like nutrition. So I've always been more on the healthy eating side than working out. I mean, I played sports in high school, but high school is also when I started eating healthy. So even when I went to college and I was no longer playing sports like for the school or whatever, I was still eating healthy. And so it's just something that became embedded in my lifestyle. And so even if I say I didn't feel like working out that one, that week, or I didn't have any workouts, my food was probably still on point. So even though I wasn't working out, just from a health standpoint, what you're putting in your body every day is gonna make a big difference. Because we all hear the saying like you are what you eat. You become the foods that you eat. Like it literally makes up your body. Like you eat protein from food, the protein becomes your skin and your muscles. You eat the fat from the food, your body's using the fat for absorbing vitamins and whatever else. So everything that you put into your body makes a difference. So is it helping you or is it hurting you, right? And that's answered over a span of time. What you're doing consistently over time is what shows up. Like a lot of chronic diseases won't show up for 20 years. So, you're eating unhealthy for a period of time, then you become diabetic or then you have high blood pressure. And it seems like it came out of nowhere, but it's like to kind of set your body up on that path. So what you put into your body makes a way bigger difference than your workout. So diet, 80-90%, that's what it is.
So do you incorporate that, for instance, the diet, and you customize the diet and the workouts for your customers, or is it either or how does that work? How does
Yeah,
it
I
work?
mean, I can't do either or. So like we're always talking about nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like customizing, I'm not giving them like what to eat on which day, but I'm always guiding like their choices, their portion sizes. If you're gaining weight, are you having too many treat days? Are you having too many chocolate days? What is the missing link? And of course, it also depends on the goal. But yeah, that's something that's always included in training. And I think it's even if you're not a dietitian, as a personal trainer, I thought you should be pushing health, like a healthy lifestyle. And the foundation of that is your food. So, that should be included.
That's true. And then don't forget, we got to get you on that court. We got to get you out of retirement one day.
Oh my God. I've been retired for 10 years at this point.
We got to get you out of retirement. So
I think I shot around. Huh?
You shot around?
Time to get back out there.
Nah, man. Basketball doesn't love me. It doesn't love me like it did.
This was a question I had, Joy, is as far as like fasting. I know that it could be related to dieting, but do you also recommend fasting, and what type of fasting do you do?
I personally don't do any type of fast unless it's when I'm asleep.
Mm-hmm. This is when you sleep.
That's all. I'm not really eating like that. Fasting has become really popular.
Yeah.
I have mixed feelings about it. I think it can be part of a healthy lifestyle. There are some benefits to it, regulating blood pressure and blood sugar and all of that. But I feel like a lot of times when people follow different diet trends, they're not necessarily doing it for the health benefit. They're doing it for some like quick fix, like, kind of lose weight.
Like they trying to go on vacation or.
Yeah, so they're still not choosing like the healthiest option. Mm-hmm. So it's like if you're like, okay, I'm not gonna eat for 16 hours, but in this 8-hour window, I'm gonna stuff everything that I can and go eat all this fast food and stuff. But you're still not embodying it like a healthy lifestyle because you're still eating like full quality food. So I think like there are tons of different diet types. Pick something that fits your lifestyle, but you should still always be looking at the quality of the food that you're eating, regardless of whatever the diet type is.
That's like supersizing McDonald's, but you get a Diet Coke,
So. That's what you do.
Band-Aid on it.
Hey, remember you caught me that one day in the gym with my Coke, something like that.
Yeah, I try to block that stuff out. I don't even remember.
No, I had a donut. That's what it was. I had a donut in the gym. That's bad.
Donut in the gym.
Yeah, I had a donut. Something like that.
Yeah,
we have a good
I do remember
for
you having something. I don't remember what it was.
It was something like that.
I do remember calling you out. I do remember that.
We'll call you out too. Mm-hmm. We have a question. It says, what's the difference between a dietitian and a nutritionist?
I'm so glad you asked. Let me sit up straight for this one.
Oh,
okay.
Turn your speakers up.
Huh? Turn your speakers up. All right. Yeah. So a nutrition in most states, the term nutritionist is not a regulated term. That means anybody can call themselves a nutritionist. That means, Lloyd, if you decide, tonight, you know what? I want to start telling people how to eat healthier. I'm gonna call myself a nutritionist. Pat and Bishop, if y'all want to be a nutritionist, call yourself a nutritionist. There's no education that's required. Okay. So you have no idea what the background of the person is, if they know what they're talking about, who they've worked with, what type of results they've got. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no foundation. To become a dietitian, you have to have a nutrition-related degree. That's number one. After that, you have to apply and get accepted into a supervised practice internship where you have 900 practice hours underneath a different dietitian in different areas of dietetics. So you're working in like hospitals, you're working in like nursing homes, and you're working with like WIC. So you're getting experience in different areas, which also helps you to decide what you want to do. And that's like a very competitive process because there are not as many internship spots as there are people who are applying. So after you finish the internship, then you have to study for an exam to become registered. So that's what registered dietitian means. So you study for the exam, you pass the exam. Now you have to be licensed in the state that you want to practice in. So you become registered and then licensed in the state. And then there are continuing education credits that you need every 2 years to keep your license in the state. And then you have to have a certain number of continuing education credits every 5 years to remain registered through the registration body. So there are like multiple steps to call yourself a dietitian. And so, at a base level, this person has a degree in nutrition or nutrition related field. They've worked, pretty much for a whole year for free underneath other dietitians. They've passed an exam, they're licensed in the state, and so that's their base level of knowledge. That's the difference.
Really qualified.
Right.
To the T. Yes. I love
yeah,
I like that.
And I'm not going to take anything away from some nutritionists, because there are credentialing bodies for like certified nutritionists. Of course, it depends on what you get a certification through. So, there are some nutritionists who really know what they're talking about. But because it's not a regulated term, you just don't know who that person is. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a risk that you take. So if you're working with a nutritionist, I would say ask them where their education is from, ask who they work with, get testimonials and referrals from the people that they work with, so that you know what to expect, moving forward.
Good tip. That's a great tip.
Thank you.
So do you have tips for real quick? Do you have tips for, like, I want to say various types of people? Because I know your workouts are intense. Because I done been through it, and it's intense. And I'm sore, and I made it through, but I was sore. But like, I've seen you work out with different types of people. So I guess when people say they're obese, maybe people with disabilities, is there anybody you are not able to work out with to get this health and fitness together?
I would say I have not worked out with different levels of disabilities. Of course, it's going to depend on what it is and what your level of mobility is. Like I had someone contact me. She had, I hope I pronounce it right, cerebral palsy. You know what I'm talking about?
Cerebral palsy, maybe?
Yeah, and so she was looking for a trainer who, had experience with, because she has to use a walker just to stand up. If she doesn't use a walker, she ends up falling out because she doesn't have like the core strength or the leg strength. And so I was like, I probably could work with her, but I had never worked with anybody like that before. And so I would just prefer to, refer her to someone who has that experience, and not being a guinea pig for anything that I'm gonna do.
What's like, if you was to say you had a specialty, do you have a specialty, or is it just pretty much?
My specialty is weight loss.
Weight loss. Okay.
I'm a certified weight loss specialist. Awesome.
Okay, good.
So yeah, and like we already said, a big part of that is the nutrition. So yeah, my workouts do tend to be intense, but it also depends on the client. Some clients just don't like all that. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I like feeling like I'm on the brink of death, and I don't know if I'm gonna make it through the workout. But some people, they just like something a little more moderate pace. They just want to be consistent and make sure that they're moving their body, and and staying active. So I can't necessarily force my style onto them if they want to continue working with me. Now, some trainers do, and when I was earlier in the field, like when I was a new trainer, my goal was to kill every single person that came in the door. Like if you weren't like dragging yourself out and dripping sweat, I wasn't satisfied.
Right.
But that was more ego than knowledge.
That's
I just think over time, I've just learned to have different approaches to different people, and that's what I do now. So.
Yeah, and as we go to the final thoughts, like when we worked out, you really like listened to me and said, okay, what is this? The area of a concern? It was my midsection, my core, and it was interesting because it was a lot of exercises I had never even thought of doing before, and they worked, and it was like it didn't hurt. It was like a steady pace. And we was done with it, and I felt good afterwards. So, I think it was a great workout.
Thank you. So yeah, that's the goal, is just to meet people's needs in a way that, is unique to that particular person. Of course, the name of my company is Digg Deep. So of course, I want to be able to push you past what you can do on your own. But my goal is not necessarily to kill somebody and make them feel like they can't walk for the next week just because they worked out for me. That's no longer my style. It used to be. But I've grown older and wiser.
Right. You turn nice on them.
I don't know, man. Sometimes I feel like I'm being too nice. But
So
yeah, it's a balance.
and then how do they get these joyful cookies? What is it?
Man, can I tell y'all something? It's
Mhm.
really hard for me to put. It's really hard for me to push these cookies. Now I'm gonna tell y'all like I don't know how much time we have. I don't want to just
No,
start
go ahead.
rambling.
Go ahead.
So like the business kind of came out of nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
I remember. So me being, huh?
That's how I kind of remember when you first started talking about it.
Yeah, and so like me being the business person that I am, I'm like, well, if I'm gonna keep selling cookies, I'm gonna do it in a legit way.
Mm-hmm.
But then me being a dietitian and personal trainer, I'm like praying to God, like, where's this cookie business coming from? Because this doesn't fit into like what I the plans that I have for myself, right?
Like your brand.
But I'm like, if it kind of popped out of nowhere, what is its purpose? So, I was doing like these daily devotionals and trying to figure out how it fit. And I think that y'all probably know that I'm in the process of trying to open up a healthy restaurant within the next 2 years. And so as I was praying and doing this devotional, it was revealed to me, this is gonna sound crazy, that the Sugar and Joy business is going to be used to fund the healthy restaurant.
Okay.
So everything that I get from the cookies and the brookies and everything else is just going to be in a separate account, and all of the money is going to be used for the restaurant.
Okay.
But even that being said, I'm like, dang, I feel like a drug dealer. Like I'm pushing drugs on people, and I'm gonna open up a community center and give out turkeys for Thanksgiving. And be like, y'all, it's okay because I'm still doing good in the community.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's like there's become kind of like this guilt factor a little bit. Like I don't want to feel like I'm tempting people to eat sugar all the time. So my goal now is to I want to like partner with restaurants and coffee shops and sell it to those places. And then when people come there, if they're already going to be buying treats anyway, it'll be there and available for them, as opposed to me trying to push it through my personal page and someone scrolling through and they're like, oh man, let me buy these cookies. And then I feel like I tempted somebody to do something that they didn't necessarily, want to do.
Right.
Because I prefer for my account to be positive, uplifting, pushing health onto people and not necessarily pulling people away from their health goals. So,
right.
Yeah.
Have you thought of having like a sugar-free option?
Yes. But I really wanted to be like, just like I have my chocolate day, I really wanted to be like the time that you want to indulge, I want you to do a full out. Like, if you're going to do it, just do it. Have the cookie, thoroughly enjoy the cookies,
right,
and then move on with your life.
So that
you know
could
what
be
I'm saying? I want to take away some of the guilt out of having something that you enjoy. But at the same time, I don't want to be pushing on the people where they're having them all the time, every day. You know what I'm saying? Like when they're not planning on doing it at all.
Yeah.
And what's the name of the cookies again?
It's Sugar and Joy Decadent Dessert. And
okay.
So that website is sugarandjoydesserts.com. But then to find out more information about me, you can go to diggdeepfit.com. That's Dig with 2 G's. And then my social media is at Digg Deep Fitness.
Awesome.
Well, I'm going to make my cheat day on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday.
Sounds good. Right. Those aren't cheat, right? Those aren't cheat days. That's just like your norm at that point. Yeah. But yeah, thank y'all so much for having me on here. Like I said, I miss seeing y'all. I will see y'all every now and then, even whether in the gym or social activity or whatever. So
yeah. Well, once again, we appreciate you, and hopefully that we know these cookies are going to pop off. So when you get your restaurant going, we're gonna come in there too.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So y'all look at me pushing sugar. Y'all gonna buy some cookies so that we can get the restaurant going?
We'll be scratching.
Okay. Yes. I would definitely support the cause. Yes. We're opening a restaurant. Buy these cookies now.
All right, Dig Deep. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. Have a good night.
You have a good one.
All right.
Oops, my bad.
That was great.
Right.
Tonight was great.
Yes.
Yeah. We're right at 9 o'clock.
Right. So great show, everybody. Again, for everybody that's still watching us, that's how they can follow us. The Ambitious Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, or Twitch. Any final thoughts, y'all?
No, go out, be great, productive, positive, and have some lamp in your life. Live a meaningful purpose.
Yep.
I like it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, we out there networking. So pretty much everywhere I go, it doesn't matter if it's a restaurant or just a grocery store. I just learned to network now. So I recently met a lot of people that with the lamp, there you go, with the lamp mask. But I just recently met a couple people that you wouldn't even think of. So always keep a positive outlook and a positive mindset. And we'll talk about it, in another show once we confirm some things and with everything. But it's like keep a positive mindset. You go out, you network, and you start meeting people, and then all of a sudden things just start happening just because of your positive attitude. So that, like they say, your attitude determines your altitude. So everybody stay out there, stay positive, and stay lamp.
That's it. That's it. Man, y'all hit the nail on the head. The only thing I would say is get your vitamin D if possible. Build your immune system. So get some fun. Keep social distance. And I love tonight's show, man. So everybody be safe and have a great week. Be positive.
All
Lamp
right.
out.